picture a land where tradition and innovation coexist in breathtaking harmony. A country where serene Zen gardens rest in the shadows of cutting-edge skyscrapers. Japan, the land of the rising sun, is globally admired for its technological marvels, timeless culture, and an almost mythical sense of discipline. But what if I told you that beneath this polished surface lies a side of Japan that most people never see? Despite its status as the world's third largest economy, Japan battles a loneliness epidemic that affects millions. Did you know that nearly 500,000 people live as hikikomori, rarely leaving their homes for months or even years? Or that its obsession with perfection has given rise to the phenomenon of Karoshi, death from overwork? From awe-inspiring temples to futuristic robots, Japan's accomplishments are nothing short of astonishing. But there's a darker, hidden narrative, one woven into the fabric of its society, culture, and history. Why does one of the wealthiest nations on Earth have one of the highest suicide rates among developed countries? What fuels Japan's fixation on outward appearances? And what happens to those who don't fit its rigid mold? Let's explore the duality, the dark sides of Japan and life in this historical country, with the beauty, the resilience, and the secrets it guards. Together, we'll delve into its extraordinary past, its remarkable present, and the unseen challenges that shape its future. Stay tuned, because this is the Japan they don't want you to know about. When people think of Japan, images of cherry blossoms, bustling markets, and high-tech innovations come to mind. It's a country that has given the world sushi, samurai, and Studio Ghibli. Yet, Japan's global influence extends far beyond cultural exports. Technologically, Japan leads the way in robotics, with innovations like Asimo, the humanoid robot, and self-driving cars. Its infrastructure is a marvel. The Shinkansen, or bullet train, runs with an average delay of under 1 minute. Tokyo is home to more Michelin-starred restaurants than any other city in the world, blending culinary artistry with precision. But the allure of Japan isn't just in its achievements. There's an undeniable magnetism to its culture, from the ritual of a tea ceremony to the tranquility of a Shinto shrine. Yet, behind this veneer of perfection, a more sobering reality unfolds, a story that is rarely told. Japan's demographic crisis is one of its most pressing issues. With a median age of 48.4 years, it's one of the oldest societies globally. By 2050, over 35% of its population will be aged 65 or older. The impact is visible: empty schools, abandoned villages, and a shrinking workforce struggling to support a growing elderly population. Government programs encourage childbirth and immigration, but these measures have met limited success. Meanwhile, younger generations face mounting pressure to shoulder the economic burden, fueling resentment and anxiety about the future. Despite its wealth and stability, Japan has one of the highest suicide rates among developed nations. In 2022 alone, over 21,000 lives were lost to suicide. The issue spans all ages, from school children to elderly citizens facing isolation. Factors include intense societal pressure, financial insecurity, and an enduring stigma around mental health. Seeking help is often viewed as a sign of weakness, leaving many to suffer in silence. Efforts like suicide hotlines and awareness campaigns are underway, but cultural shifts take time. Japan is synonymous with long hours work and intense dedication. Employees often work 60 hours a week, and vacations are rarely taken. The term Karoshi, which means death by overwork, isn't just a concept, it's a legal cause of death. The roots of this phenomenon lie in Japan's post-war economic boom, which instilled a culture of collective sacrifice. However, today, it's taking a toll on mental health. Burnout is widespread, and many young workers are turning away from traditional employment structures, choosing part-time or freelance roles to escape the relentless grind. Loneliness is a silent epidemic in Japan. Around 1.5 million people identify as hikikomori, retreating from society for extended periods. This isolation stems from societal pressures, bullying, and the fear of failure. Adding to this is the rise of lonely deaths or kudokushi, where individuals pass away unnoticed, often only discovered weeks later. These stories reflect a troubling lack of community and connection in a nation celebrated for its unity. Japan's cultural narrative has long celebrated traditional gender roles, but this has come at a cost. Women face systemic barriers in the workplace, earning 23% less than their male counterparts on average. Balancing career and family is a monumental challenge, as childcare options are limited and societal expectations remain rigid. Movements for gender equality are gaining traction, but progress is slow. Despite these challenges, Japanese women are increasingly pushing for independence and redefining societal norms. In Japan, beauty is not just an aspiration, it's a societal expectation. Rooted in historical aesthetics like wabi-sabi embracing imperfection and the geisha tradition, modern Japanese beauty ideals have transformed into rigid, unforgiving standards. Flawless skin, slim physiques, and a youthful appearance dominate the cultural narrative, with the pressure to conform cutting across gender lines. Japan's beauty industry thrives on this pressure, ranking among the top global markets for cosmetics and skincare. Whitening products, anti-aging creams, and procedures like double eyelid surgery are staples, contributing to a multi-billion euro industry. But this obsession comes at a personal cost. Many endure harmful treatments or dangerous fad diets to fit the mold. Eating disorders are increasingly common, particularly among young women, with societal pressure to remain slim starting as early as adolescence. Schools and workplaces often reinforce these ideals, with unspoken or even explicit discrimination based on weight or appearance. Men are not exempt from these pressures, with the rise of herbivore men reflecting a shift towards more aesthetic-focused masculinity. Even more concerning is the psychological toll. Japan's suicide rates have been partially linked to societal pressures, including unattainable beauty ideals. The stigma against body diversity leaves little room for acceptance or self-love, and those who fail to meet these standards often face bullying or social exclusion. Yet, there is a growing resistance. Campaigns promoting body positivity, inclusivity, and acceptance of natural beauty are gaining traction, especially among younger generations. These movements challenge the long-standing obsession with perfection and pave the way for a more compassionate, diverse cultural narrative. So, is Japan's obsession with beauty a triumph of aesthetics or a reflection of deeper societal struggles? What's clear is that this conversation is far from over. Japan's strict immigration policies contrast sharply with its need for a larger workforce. Despite a shrinking population, the country has resisted large-scale immigration, fearing the dilution of its cultural identity. Foreign residents often face discrimination in housing and employment, and cultural integration remains a significant hurdle. Japan is often associated with wealth and technological advancement, but beneath this glossy exterior lies a growing issue of hidden poverty. Despite being the world's third largest economy, nearly 1 in 6 Japanese people live in relative poverty, a stark reality rarely discussed. This issue is particularly pervasive among the working poor who hold full-time jobs but barely make ends meet. A phenomenon called Karyu Rodosha, the working poor class, has emerged, with many middle-class individuals finding themselves slipping into financial instability due to stagnant wages, rising living costs, and lack of social safety nets. Elderly poverty is another hidden crisis. Japan's aging population means that many retirees survive on insufficient pensions, often resorting to menial jobs or relying on government aid. Similarly, single-parent households, predominantly led by women, face significant challenges, with Japan having one of the highest child poverty rates in the developed world. Even more concerning is the rise of internet cafe refugees. These are individuals who can no longer afford traditional housing and live in 24-hour internet cafes, paying nightly fees for a private booth. It's a shocking reflection of how precarious life can become in a society obsessed with outward appearances. While Japan's prosperity is undeniable, these cracks in the foundation reveal a nation grappling with inequality. For many, the dream of a stable, middle-class life is becoming increasingly elusive, hidden behind the country's image of success. Japan's nightlife is as vibrant as it is controversial. Host clubs, where patrons pay exorbitant sums for companionship, are part of a billion-dollar industry. But beneath the glitz lies a world of exploitation, debt, and societal judgment. Japan's reputation for hospitality doesn't extend equally to everyone. Ethnic minorities like the Ainu and Zainichi Koreans face systemic discrimination, as do foreign residents. Japan has long maintained a delicate balance between freedom of expression and censorship. While the country is seen as a bastion of democracy, its approach to media and artistic freedom reveals a more controlled narrative. Historically, censorship dates back to the Edo period, when literature and art were heavily regulated to suppress dissent. In modern times, controversial topics like wartime atrocities or critiques of the imperial family are often avoided in mainstream media. Textbooks, for example, have been edited to downplay Japan's role in World War II, sparking international criticism. Meanwhile, strict obscenity laws extend even to the arts, where censorship in manga and film is rigorously enforced. These measures reflect a societal preference for harmony over confrontation, but often leave critical issues underexamined. Despite its eco-friendly reputation, Japan faces significant environmental challenges that are often overlooked. The country produces over 9 million tons of plastic waste annually, making it one of the largest contributors to ocean pollution. While recycling rates appear high, much of the waste is incinerated, releasing harmful emissions. Japan also struggles with nuclear waste management. Following the 2011 Fukushima disaster, radioactive waste disposal remains a contentious issue, with local communities opposing storage sites. Additionally, its heavy reliance on imported fossil fuels contributes to greenhouse gas emissions, complicating efforts to meet climate goals. Japan's legal system operates with a 99.9% conviction rate, a statistic that raises serious questions about justice and fairness. The high rate is partly due to the reliance on confessions, which are often extracted during lengthy interrogations without legal representation. This practice, known as hostage justice, has been criticized internationally for coercing innocent people into confessing. Moreover, cases involving foreigners often face additional biases, with language barriers and cultural misunderstandings complicating proceedings. The system's rigidity also limits opportunities for appeal, leaving little room for redress in wrongful convictions. Living in Japan as an expat can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, the country offers unparalleled safety, world-class healthcare, and a rich cultural experience. On the other hand, societal norms can make integration difficult. Language barriers are one of the biggest challenges, as fluency in Japanese is often required for jobs and everyday interactions. Foreign residents may also face housing discrimination, with landlords hesitant to rent to non-Japanese tenants. Social customs, such as bowing and gift-giving etiquette, can feel overwhelming, and the reserved nature of Japanese society often leaves expats feeling isolated. Japanese youth face unique pressures that can be both overwhelming and isolating. The country's education system emphasizes academic achievement, with students enduring long hours of study and attending cram schools or juku after regular classes. This intense focus on academics has led to high levels of stress and anxiety among students. Bullying, or ijimi, is another pervasive issue. Reports show that nearly 300,000 cases of bullying were recorded in Japanese schools in 2022 alone. The rigid conformity expected in schools often leaves little room for individuality, making students who are different easy targets. Additionally, Japan's youth struggle with job security in a society where lifetime employment is no longer guaranteed. The pressure to succeed in a competitive job market, coupled with societal expectations, has left many feeling disillusioned and disconnected. Japan is a land of contrasts, and some of its quirks are fascinating yet lesser known. For instance, did you know that vending machines are ubiquitous in Japan, with one machine for every 23 people? They sell everything from hot meals to umbrellas. Another intriguing fact is that Japan has more pets than children, a reflection of its aging population and declining birth rate. Additionally, the country is home to 6,852 islands, many of which are uninhabited, offering a glimpse into a quieter, untouched side of Japan. Japan also celebrates unique festivals like the Naked Festival or Hadaka Matsuri, where thousands of men dressed in loincloths compete to grab sacred objects for good luck. These cultural oddities paint a vibrant picture of a country that is as diverse as it is disciplined. Japan's duality is a tapestry of beauty and complexity. From its awe-inspiring temples and technological feats to its societal struggles and hidden challenges, the land of the rising sun is as multifaceted as it is mesmerizing. To truly appreciate Japan is to see beyond its polished surface, acknowledging both its triumphs and its trials. What are your thoughts on Japan's hidden stories and its remarkable culture? Share your perspective in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Gaines Explorer for more deep dives into fascinating cultures and countries.